This video is brought to you by Parker and Kaan in cooperation with Bradford Studios.
You unlock this door with the key of justice. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of defense, a dimension of prosecution, a dimension of law. You're moving into a land of both truths and lies, of theories and speculation. You just crossed over into the Scopes monkey trial.
The Roaring Twenties, a time of prohibition, dance, suffrage, economy, and art.
But most important of all was the Scopes trial, or formerly known as the State of Tennessee versus John Thomas Scopes.
From July 10th to July 21st, 1925, the tiny town of Dayton, Tennessee was home to the trial that brought in enough visitors to outnumber the residents. Thousands more listened to live updates through the radio as a Dayton high school teacher, John Thomas Scopes, was accused of violating the Butler Act, a Tennessee law passed in March of the same year that made it illegal for public schools to deny the teachings of the Bible.
A substitute biology teacher who could not even remember if he had discussed evolution in the classroom, Mr. Scopes was only acting as a volunteer for the American Civil Liberties Union so they could test the validity of the act in court. At the same time, he was urged into it to gain publicity for the town of Dayton, which was transformed from a quiet town into a populous city with pedestrian malls, speaker platforms, and tourist camps. In a clash of science and religion, the trial pitted the notorious defense attorney Clarence Darrow against the thrice-defeated Democratic presidential candidate and leading anti-evolutionist William Jennings Bryan. While the legal subject of the court was whether John Scopes violated Tennessee law, the nation paid more attention to the battle between Darrow and Bryan. Due to the attention of the entire nation, emotions ran almost as high as the temperatures, both of which eventually forced the trial to move outside beneath an oak tree. After only 8 days, the trial was ended abruptly and Scopes was found guilty. As called for by the Butler Act, he was ordered to pay a fine which Judge Ralston set at $100. The conviction was later overturned on the technicality that the jury should have set the fine as opposed to the judge. In the end, this publicized conflict between fundamentalists and modernists was a victory for both groups. The fundamentalists gained the support of the court, and 41 different anti-evolution bills were introduced to state legislatures following the Scopes trial. Only Arkansas and Mississippi successfully passed laws banning the teachings of Darwin's theory in tax-supported schools. However, modernists were able to bring widespread attention to the theory of evolution and the fact that it never stated man was descended directly from ape, only that the two shared a common ancestor. The examination of William Jennings Bryan by Clarence Darrow also presents a victory for modernists in that Bryan claims that parts of the Bible should be taken symbolically, not literally.
Some of the Bible is clearly intended to be understood figuratively.
Well, don't you think that the world was created in 6 days, for instance?
No, I do not.
Well, the Bible says it was.
I do not think that the Bible insists that those were 24-hour days. Some men differ, but I believe that they were long periods of time.